In an office, shows Gilda Radner sitting in a large cubicle. Bill Hartman and Chris Farley, dressed in suits, enter the office. Hartman walks Farley over towards Radner's cubicle and says, "Pam, I want you to meet your new cubicle partner, Jack Backer." Radner stands up, puts her hand out and says, "Nice to meet you, Jack." Farley, "Oh, come on, Pammy, cubicle mates don't shake hands, cubicle mates hug." Farley pushes Radner's hand away and gives her a bear hug. Hartman, "Well, Pam, I'm sure you won't have a problem getting Jack up to speed." Farley releases Radner, who says, "I'm having trouble breathing after that hug." Hartman, Well, as soon as you get your breath back, why don't you teach Jack here the ropes? I'll check back with you two in a few hours." Hartman leaves. Farley, "Boy, oh boy, Pammy, can you believe we're going to be sharing the same cubicle? It's going to be awesome. We're going to be best buds." Radner, "Yeah, I hope it works out. I've never had to share my cubicle before." Farley, "Well, today's your lucky day, lady, because Big Jack is going to make sure that work is fun, fun, fun." Radner sits back down and says, "Well, actually, we have a lot of work to do. Why don't you take a seat?" Farley sits on Radner's lap, which causes her to struggle trying to push him off. Farley, "Oh boy, a computer! I haven't used one of these since high school. Let's find some porn on here." Radner, "Get the hell off me. There's another chair over there by your computer." Farley gets up and says, "My mistake, Pammy. Sometimes I act before I think." Radner, "It's Pam. And what the hell, why is my lap all wet?" Farley, "Sorry about that. When I'm nervous, I sweat a lot by my rear end. I'm pretty nervous with it being my first day of work and all." Radner, That's disgusting. Please sit in your chair and turn on your computer so we can go over the handling of the files." Farley sits down in the other chair and starts pounding his fist on the top of his computer monitor. Radner, "What are you doing?" Farley, "Trying to turn on my computer. I thought a good whack would wake it up." Radner walks over to Farley's computer, turns it on and asks, "Why did you think pounding on it would turn it on?" Farley, "Well, Pam, when I pound my man meat, it turns me on." Radner, "Oh my God, this is a work environment. That's completely inappropriate." Farley, "I'm sorry about that. I forgot I'm not at the bar with the boys. Where are my manners? So how do I do this whole job here anyway?" Radner, "What you do is you open each file and..." Farley, "Woo! That's enough work for me today. Why don't we head out and grab some beers?" Radner, "It's 9:30 in the morning." Farley, "You know what? You're right. Beer is really more of an early morning drink. We can get some shots instead." Radner, "No, I mean it's way too early to drink at all. We have a lot of work to do." Farley, "Pam, I'm going to level with you. My Aunt Kathy is banging the boss here, and that's how I got the job. I don't know a darn thing about adjusting insurance claims or all of that, but I figure as long as my aunt continues to put out, I should be okay." Radner, "How am I supposed to teach you anything if you don't even understand the basics?" Farley, "I have no clue." Radner, "Well, do you at least understand the basics of insurance?" Farley, "Sugar pie, I don't even know what basics means." Radner, "Okay, well, when people anticipate that the cost of..." Farley, "Anticipate? Sweetie, you got to talk English to me." Radner, "When someone thinks about the future and how much something might cost if something goes wrong, they sometimes will buy insurance for that thing so that if that thing does go wrong, they'll be given money to cover the cost." Shows Farley with his mouth agape, eyes rolling the back of his head and sweating profusely. Radner, "Anyway, what we do is we work for the person selling the insurance to the customer. And and we help decide, wait, what the hell are you doing? Shows Farley smoking a joint, who says, smoking a doobie! What does it look like I'm doing? Radner, come on, you know you can't be doing that at work. Farley, but it's legal now. Radner, that doesn't mean you can do it at work. Farley puts the joint out on his tongue and swallows the remainder. Radner, I can't believe you just did that. Farley, anyway, so when do we get a brunch break? Radner, well, you can take a lunch at 12. Farley, well, this is America, sweetie. Of course I can take a lunch at noon, but what about a brunch break? Radner, there is no brunch break here. Farley, what the hell is wrong with this place? You can't drink, can't smoke, and you don't even have brunch breaks? Hartman walks back into the office, walks up to Farley and says, hey, Jack, your Aunt Kathy just dumped me, so you're fired. Farley, thank God this place sucks, and dead from the earth, we're not alive! It's Saturday Not Alive, starring John Belushi, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Jan Hooks, Norm MacDonald, Gilda Radner, Denitra Vance, and with many other special deceased contributors. Musical guest, Brian Brizz Gillis, and your host, Nicholas Copernicus. Everybody, Nicholas Copernicus. Applause, applause, applause. Copernicus. Thank you. Thank you for having me. In life, I was a doctorate in canon law and was a mathematician, astronomer, physician, classic scholar, translator, governor, diplomat, and economist. However, I am best known historically for my book, translated to On the Revolutions of the Celestial Spheres, where I argue that instead of the prevailing scientific consensus at the time, that the sun rotated around the earth, that instead our solar system was a heliocentric model where the earth rotates around the sun. Applause, applause, applause. Copernicus. Therefore, my story is important to remember in the context of established scientific consensus. Always remain skeptical of prevailing views, as further inquiry and observation may very well take scientific views seen as dogma today and eventually change them into obsolete nonsense. Norm MacDonald comes out and says, hey, Mr. Copernicus? Copernicus. Yes? MacDonald. Well, your whole story got me thinking, you know. Maybe the earth is flat. Copernicus. No, that's mathematically impossible. MacDonald. Now, just a minute there. Now, I just heard you say, you know, that you can't trust the scientific consensus on stuff. So who's to say that some future Copernicus out there won't come around and prove the earth is flat? Copernicus. Well, I didn't mean... MacDonald. No, I'm way ahead of you. No need to explain yourself. MacDonald looks out at the dead studio audience and says, folks, why don't you give a round of applause here for our flat earther, Mr. Copernicus? Applause, applause, applause. Copernicus. I'm not a flat earther. MacDonald. All of a sudden, Mr. Bucking the consensus is afraid to take a stand. Copernicus. Even though you should be skeptical of the scientific consensus, you should be even more skeptical of the claims of Norm MacDonald. Folks, we have a great show tonight. Brian Brizz Gillis of the band LFO is here. So get ready for Summer Girls in the spring. We'll be right back.